Jai Mahamaya Ki Jai. In our last discourse, we read about King Yudigit killing King Virasena, who was the father of Manorama, the queen that had the first son, the eldest son that was to be heir to the throne of Kosala. And King Yudigit, having won over Manorama's father, was bound and determined now to put his own grandson, Shatrajit, on the throne and more than likely kill Manorama and her son. So here we are. She has taken, she's gone into the forest where she found an ashram of a Muni and has taken refuge there. And the Muni said that he would take care of her and her son, as well as the loyal minister Bidala. So that was chapter 15. Now we'll go on to chapter 16. Vedavyasa said, after gaining the victory in the battle, the king Yudigit returned to the city of Ayodhya with his huge army and asked, where are Sundarasana and Manorama? He wanted to kill Sundarasana. He repeatedly exclaimed, where have they gone? And sent his servants on the search. Then on an auspicious day, he installed his daughter's son on the throne. Maharishi Vasista was engaged as the priest. He and the other ministers began to chant the auspicious hymns of the Atharva Veda, and with vessels filled with water and consecrated by these hymns, installed Sutrajit on the throne. O best of the crews, conch shells resounded, drums, horns and musical instruments resounded, and great festivals and rejoicing took place in the city. The reciting of the Vedic mantras by the Brahmins and the chanting of hymns by the bards and the auspicious acclamations of victory to their new king resounded the whole city of Ayodhya with joy. When the new king, Satyajit, ascended the throne, the subjects were filled with joy. Everywhere hymns were sung, drums were resounded. At this, Ayodhya looked as fresh as ever. However, though there were thus great rejoicing and festivals, some good persons were found that remembered Sundarasana and gave vent to their feeling of sorrows thus, alas, where has that prince gone? Where has that chaste queen, Manorama, gone with her son? Oh, the enemies have killed her father for greed of kingdom. The saints with their views impartial thus rendered uneasy, sorry, began to pass away their time with the being subject to the new king. After installing duly his daughter's son on the throne and having made over the charge of the kingdom to the wise counselors, Yudigit turned towards his own city. After some time, Yudigit heard that Sundarasana was staying in the Hermitage with this particular Muni. He started immediately at once for Chitrakoot and went quickly to that Hermitage. Hearing that Yudigit was coming there with his army, Manorama began to think that her son was a minor and became very sorrowful, distressed, and terrified. Then she, with tears in her eyes, addressed the Muni thus, Yudigit is coming here. What shall I do and whither shall I go? He has slain my father and has installed his daughter's son on the throne. Still, he is not satisfied, and he is now coming with his army here to kill my young son. O Lord, in days of yore, I heard that the Pandavas, when they went to the forest, lived in the holy village, hermitage of the Muni, with Draupadi, their wife. One day the 5 brothers went hunting, and the beautiful Draupadi stayed without any fear with other maidservants in the hermitage, where there was the chanting of the Vedas by holy, high-souled rishis like Bharadvaja and others. While the 5 great heroes, Arjuna and others, the destroyer of the enemies, were roaming in the forest, Jayadratha, the king of Sindhu, came with his army to the Hermitage, hearing the reciting of the Vedic hymns. Hearing thus, that king quickly descended from his chariot so that he might have a sight of these holy Munis. Accompanied by 2 attendants only, he approached to the Munis and, finding them engaged in the study of his Vedas, waited there with folded hands for an opportunity, O Lord. When the king, on entering the Hermitage, took his seat, the wives of the Munis came there to see the king and began to inquire, "Who is this person?" With the wives of the Munis came there also the beautiful Draupadi. The king looked upon Draupadi as if she was the second goddess Lakshmi. Looking at the lovely royal daughter who looked like the Deva girls, the king asked Maharishi Dramya, "Who is this beautiful lotus-eyed lady? Whose wife is she, and who is her father? What is her name? Oh, from her beautiful appearance, it seems that the goddess Sati has come down to earth. O good one, tell truly whose beloved is she, O Brahmanans? It seems that she is the wife of some king, not the wife of a Muni." The Muni told him, "O king of Sindhu, she is the daughter of Pankala. Her name is Draupadi. She is the wife of the Pandavas. They are residing in the forest, having got rid of their fears." The Muni said, "Where have those powerful Pandavas of great powers gone now? Are they dwelling in this forest free from fear?" The Muni said, "The 5 Pandavas have gone out on hunting, ascended on a chariot. They will return at noon with their game." Hearing the Muni's words, the king got up and, going near to Draupadi, bowed down to her and said, "O fair one, is there everything well with you? Where have your husbands gone? Today it is 11 years since you are residing in the forest." Draupadi then said, "O prince, let all be well with you. Wait here for a short while. The Pandavas are quickly returning." While Draupadi thus spoke, that powerful king became overpowered with greed and avarice, stole her away, disregarding all the Munis present there. O Lord, the wise should never trust anybody. If on anybody he places his trust, he will surely come to grief. For example, see the case of the king Bali. Bali, the son of Virochana and the grandson of Prahlada, was prosperous, devoted to his religion, true to his promise, performer of sacrifices, generous, always giving protection to and liked by the saints, and a great warrior. His mind never turned to any irreligious subjects, and he performed 99 yagyas with full dakshinas. But the Bhagavan Vishnu, who is all full of sattvic purity and who is never affected with passion and changeless, who is always worshipped by the yogis, he, in the form of a dwarf, in his Vamana incarnation as the son of Kassapa Rishi, to serve the Devas, stole away his whole secret earth and kingdom deceitfully from Bali on a hypocritical pretext. O Lord, I heard that the son of Virochana was a generous, large-hearted king. He truly resolved to give what was wanted, but Vishnu behaved with him deceitfully to serve the cause of Indra. When the pure sattvic Vishnu could assume the dwarf incarnation to bring about the hindrance of Bali Yagya, what wonder is there that ordinary mortals would practice things like that? Therefore, never trust on anybody in any way, Lord. Where there are greed and avarice reigning in one's heart, what fear can he have to perpetuate any evil deed? O Muni, it is through avarice that men commit deceitful deeds. They do not care what good or bad will happen to them in the next world. Thoroughly overpowered by greed, they take away in mind, word, and deed others' things, and thus they become fallen. Lo, human beings always worship the gods for wealth, but the Devas do not give them wealth instantly. They give them these things through others by making them carry on trade, make gifts, or show their strengths, or by making them steal. The Vaishyas worship the gods simply because they think they will be highly prosperous, and therefore they sell many things as grains, cloth, and the like. O controlled one, is there not the desire to take away the other's property in this act of merchandise? Certainly there is. Besides, the merchants, when they find that when people are in urgent need of buying articles from them, expect that price of those articles might run higher. O Muni, thus everyone is anxious to take away others' properties. How then can we trust them? Those who are clouded by greed and delusion, they're going to places of pilgrimage, they're making charities, they're reciting the Vedas, are all rendered useless. Though they go to the holy places, still their things bear no fruit to them, as they have not done these things at all. Therefore, O enlightened one, you make Yudigit go back to his own place. Then I will be able to remain here, like Sita, with my son. On Manorama's thus speaking to the Muni, the fiery Maharishi went to Yudigit and said, O king, you better go back to your own place or anywhere else you like. The son of Manorama is a minor. That queen is very much grieved. She cannot come to you now. Yudigit said, O peaceful one, kindly cease showing this impudence and give me Manorama. I will never go away leaving her. If you do not give her easily, I will take her by force. The Muni said, O king, if there be any strength in you, you can take away Manorama by force. But the results will be similar to that when the king Vishvamitra wanted to take away the heavenly cow by force from the hermitage of Vasistha. Thus ends the 16th chapter on the glory of the Devi and the going of the king Yudigit to the hermitage of Bhaja to kill Sundarasana in the third book of the Srimad Devi Bhagavatam by Maharishi Veda Vyasa. Jai Mahamaya ki, Jai Bole Baba ki, Jai Jagdambe Mata ki, Jai.